Shade 45. We are back, and we have an author with us. We have Kreston Kent. What's up? Is he there?
Yeah.
Kreston. Hey, what's up, Kreston?
Hey.
How you doing?
You're
a professor.
How are you?
Great.
I was, yeah. Right now I'm teaching at a college prep school.
Okay.
But I've been a professor, taught at universities, so yeah.
You wrote a very interesting book, which I didn't get a chance to read, but just the title was intriguing to me. So I was like, let's have this guy on, and he can break it down for us. It's called The Literary Genius of Lil Wayne.
Absolutely. Yeah, he uses literary devices like rhyming. So in the book, I catalog all different kinds of rhyme that literary analysis has come up with, and he uses every single one of them. He is the master of puns. He uses probably more puns than anybody in the history of the world. His metaphors move. The thing that got me into Lil Wayne was how fast he goes from metaphor to metaphor that leaks through the sheet of the tablet in my mind. That's what got me. And so I've been saying for years that somebody should write this book. Some English major somewhere, somebody should write this book and analyze Lil Wayne from a literary standpoint. And I just decided, you know what, I'm going to do it myself. So that's the book.
So what are the different devices that he uses? You said he uses every one of them. Can you familiar? Because like I neither agree nor disagree with you because I'm really not familiar enough with Lil Wayne's body of work to argue for it or against it. But I do think that I do find it interesting that you put him on such a high pedestal. You compare him with William Shakespeare and
Bob Dylan. Yes. And, Bob Dylan's been nominated for the Nobel Prize in Literature. So, and I really think that Bob Dylan gets a lot of deserved praise, and I'm obsessed with Bob Dylan and Lil Wayne. But people write about Bob Dylan all the time. There are 10 books a year that come out about Bob Dylan, but people don't take Lil Wayne seriously. So, like, people call rapping rhyming, right? So rhyming is really important in rap, and every other rapper that I've ever heard rhymes 1, 2, 3 syllables at the end of the line, maxes out at 3 syllables at the end of the line. Lil Wayne, 4 syllables, 5 syllables, 8 syllables, 15 syllables. Like in my favorite Lil Wayne song, Watch My Shoes, he goes line to line, 15 syllables. Call my nigga gutta if you're trying to get your family back. All up in another nigga woman, I be ramming it. That's 15 syllables, both lines. Every syllable rhymes. It's incredible. Nobody else does that.
Do you feel like, I guess this is the next thing. Do you feel like you're well-versed enough in rap music to say that no one else does that? Is it fair to just say, can't you just say that Lil Wayne is really good at this? Like, are you that familiar with rap to make that argument that he's head and shoulders above everybody else?
So, like, I get obsessed with one person. So, I used to be, when I was a kid, I was obsessed with classical music, and I studied classical music in college. Then I was obsessed with Michael Jackson. Then I was obsessed with Bob Dylan, and now it's Lil Wayne. So I've been listening to Lil Wayne for 7 years straight. So I know his music really well. And so to try to make comparisons, yeah, I listen to other rap, but I can't get into it because it just doesn't compare. So I'll listen to a song here, a song there, a song there. And I have to say, like, give credit where credit is due. It's Eminem's channel that we're talking on, right? I like Eminem a lot, and especially on that one track, the No Love remix, Eminem definitely outshines Lil Wayne on that track. And that's the thing, like, a genius, which I call Lil Wayne a literary genius, a genius doesn't always produce ingenious work. Like, some of Mozart's stuff that I studied as a kid, my piano teacher told me, some of it's not very good. But a lot of it is just far beyond what other people do. And a lot of what Lil Wayne does is far beyond what other people do, the connections he makes between lines. So I think a lot of rap is very clever, but I don't think it rises to the level of genius like Lil Wayne's does.
Here's my problem with the whole Lil Wayne argument, and this is from what I've heard from Lil Wayne is his music lacks an emotional depth that you might be able to find in a Tupac, in a Scarface, in a Jay-Z. So yeah, he's really
absolutely
he's really good at putting words together, but in a way he's soulless.
Yep, I'm with you right there. I agree 100%, and that's why people don't like Lil Wayne. A lot of people hate on him because he's not a storyteller. He is not a storyteller. What he's out there to do is to create word puzzles, word play, polysyllabic rhymes. He ties the puns in with the rhymes, with the different forms of literary repetition. So what I do is I lay out in my book, and I say in my book, it's called The Literary Genius of Lil Wayne. I don't know if we said that, but that's what it's called. So I lay out in my book the way that Lil Wayne uses all these literary devices, and I say he is not a storyteller. He doesn't do the narrative thing that people say that Nas does, Jay-Z does, and that appeals to people emotionally. I just never listen to music for that reason. Like, I get my emotional experiences somewhere else. When I'm listening to music, that's when my brain turns on. And so Lil Wayne challenges me. Like, it took me 3 weeks to figure out what he meant by I still got the vision like a line between two dots. I was like, what does that even mean? You know? Eyes red from the Kush eye blue, white person. And I was like, why does he say white person at the end of that line? And people hear that and they're like, it's just random. It doesn't make sense. But
eyes red because the Kush eye blue.
Eyes red from the Kush eye blue, white person. Well,
what
he's saying eyes red. So when he says Kush eye blue, it's a pun. I blew the Kush, right? But eye blue is blue eyes. Eye blue, because he says eyes red from the Kush, eye blue. White people have blue eyes, right? I mean, there are some people with darker skin who have blue eyes, but in general, blue eyes
take some phone calls.
White people. Yeah,
a lot of people are calling up about it. What's one of your favorite Lil Wayne songs? Maybe we can play for people so that they can get on your level, if you will.
Some of the most. I
gotta tell you that. Can I? Yeah. Let me jump in real quick. That whole eyes red because the Kush eye blue white person. To me, it's not that sweet. Like, it's kind of stupid. Like, I get what he's doing, but what the fuck? Like, what does it matter? Like, Curtin hanging with the rod, A-Rod, batter, Yankee. Like
it's a pun. So people hate puns. I know it. People hate puns, and some people call it the lowest
My grandpa
form
likes
of humor.
puns. My grandpa loves puns. You know what I mean? Like,
and that's why a lot of people don't like Lil Wayne. But from a literary standpoint, puns are very respected. And the people who write about Bob Dylan say, the guy who nominated Bob Dylan for the Nobel Prize for Literature, he points out the puns that Bob Dylan makes. So, and he's a Cambridge professor. He was at Oxford, he was at Cambridge, he's at Boston University. He's a nominator for the Nobel Prize. They love puns. So if you're looking at literary devices, I mean, this is the stuff that English majors love. And maybe, rap listeners don't always love it. And when I tell puns, people love groan,
I think people really do like Lil Wayne. Like, I don't think you're arguing. I think people like Lil Wayne, especially on this station. So,
Well, that's good. Yeah, I just think people don't appreciate how smart he is. No,
dude. Like, I honestly hear what you're saying, but and I feel like he is a good representative of what we have today. But like, it's a computer can come up with wordplay, but there's something about being able to say, make you feel. That's what art's supposed to make you feel. It's not like I can watch somebody do a bunch of flips. It doesn't make me feel. You know what I mean? And that's kind of I feel like that's the main knock on Lil Wayne. I
respect that, and if that's what you listen to music for, then Lil Wayne's not for you. I mean, all he's going to talk about is drugs, push pussy, cash, like that's all he ever talks about. But the fact that he has over 1,000 songs and he hasn't run out of ways to say she blew me, that's genius right there. I mean, anybody
Let me ask you
would
this.
run out of ideas. Yeah.
To you, is Lil Wayne the best rapper ever?
From the literary device standpoint,
yes or no?
Absolutely.
Yes or no?
Yes, for
All
me,
right.
absolutely. No
All right,
question.
let's go to a Lil Wayne song. 888-742-3345. 888-742-3345. Kreston Kent. He wrote the book The Literary Genius of Lil Wayne. 888-742-3345. We have the author of The Literary Genius of Lil Wayne, Kreston Kent, here. He argues that Lil Wayne is the best rapper out there, and you put him on par with William Shakespeare and Bob Dylan. You ready to holler at some people?
Yeah, I am. Can I point out something from that song because it's just so amazing?
Okay, go ahead.
All right. When he says, "My gun fit, I'm so unfit," okay, so his gun fits, but he doesn't, which means he's unhealthy because all he eats is rappers, like the rappers on Food or other rappers. And then he goes on to talk about fast food. And then later in the song, he says gun on the waistline. So he's referring back to the gun fitting on his waistline. And then he says this is the wasteland. And so he's also referring to waste, like the rappers that he was talking about earlier, like throwing out, chocolate bar wrappers. So it's incredible.
Do you really
ties together?
Or do you feel like sometimes you put more meaning into something than it I mean, like,
yeah. So
I feel like some of these are stretches. Some of these are you're stretching. I feel like.
Yeah, people always say, "Do you think he knows that he's doing this? Was that intentional?" And that's a chapter in my book about whether it's intentional or not. But in the end, it doesn't matter. What matters is the art that he produces.
It feels to me. Let me jump in. Let me jump in.
Yeah.
It feels to me that you're not really you're viewing this with biased eyes. Like it's like you've already decided what you decided. And now you're looking for proof. It doesn't seem very scientific.
Well, so if you, let me
the fact that you aren't that well versed with other rappers, it kind of is a hiccup in your argument.
I mean, I've really tried.
Whether they excite you or not, for you to be able, you still should probably, like, if you're gonna, like, not all homework excites me, but you should probably do it.
Yeah. And I've been talking to people about this for years, and I've been looking into it. If someone could ever bring to me another rapper who rhymes 15 syllables line to line, then
he wasn't the first person to do that. He wasn't.
We'd have a debate.
G-Rap was doing shit like that a long time ago.
Well, if they are, then nobody's written it down. So
G-Rap's not a they. All right, man. Let's go to the phone lines. 888-742-3345. 888-742-3345. Let's go to Birdman in Texas.
Yeah.
Birdman.
Go
ahead.
Dude? Hey,
Hi.
Dude. I'm glad y'all got somebody on there that can't fuck with hyena. Because that book is not going to sell. And,
all right.
and my question is, how the hell this nigga going to say Lil Wayne started this? Fabulous. He stole Fabulous style. Fabulous was doing this a long time ago. And Fabulous is trash. And every time Lil Wayne signs an artist, he tends to sound like him. Have you noticed that? That's my question for you, Kent.
Well, none of the other artists on Young Money do what he does. If you look at the different types of rhyming, for example, macaronic rhyme, rhyming words in different languages. So you
telling me Nicki Minaj, when he signed Nicki Minaj, that's when he started talking about eating coochie because she was talking about sucking dick, and now he's trying to sound like Young Thug. And you telling me that's not happening?
I'm telling you that Young Thug does not rhyme more than 3 syllables line to line. He doesn't use puns the way Wayne does. He doesn't use extended metaphors. If you look at Lil Wayne's lyrics on paper, you can see the structure of it. every verse has a structure. The ideas from the first verse tie into the last verse. There's a lot there.
Have you heard of Devin the Dude?
So what
Have you heard of Devin the Dude?
No, I haven't. Like I said,
my God.
you know, I've listened to other songs here and there. I don't claim to be a rap expert. I claim to be a Lil Wayne expert.
Okay.
And nobody else has shown.
The problem is well, you don't know that. You don't know that. That's the problem with your argument. Like at least structure your argument where you're saying based on this, but you say nobody else has shown. People, we're naming rappers that are like regular rappers to anybody that knows anything about rap music, and you dismiss them, and then your excuse is they don't excite me. No, you just don't know about them. So you're ignorant. You're ignorant in a field that you're trying to write a book about.
Well, if you read the book, you'll see that I'm not ignorant in what the literary devices are and how Lil Wayne uses them.
All right, let's go to Joey. Yeah. But when people say, I like this rapper, oh, this rapper did that, oh, that rapper did that, but nobody's laid it down on paper. I've never seen anybody catalog the different types of rhymes that other rappers have used and prove it. So all right, bro. All right. Let me. You've been saying you're repeating, but let's move this on. We got Joey in Louisville. Go ahead, Joey.
I'm going to disagree with them because in order to be the best rapper, it's the whole quality of work. That would be like me watching an NBA game and see Conor Corver make threes and then watch someone else shoot threes and they on the field of me because all I'm judging the guy on is how good he can shoot a three ball. He doesn't know enough to make a judgment to say Lil Wayne's the best rapper just based on his rhymes. That's one category.
Well, what I say is he's a literary genius for the way he uses literary devices. And if that's not what you're into, that's fine.
Let's go to Natural in Colorado. Natural.
What's good, Jude? It's okay to take calls and let us say what you're trying to say, baby. We get it. At the end of the day, I have to say that everybody has a fave, right? But this cat is talking about approaching it from an academic perspective. And you cannot approach it from an academic perspective, talking about literary genius and him being the most literary genius that there is when you're not making a comparative with anybody else. And you certainly can't do that based on excitement alone. Because, getting excited about music is one thing, but understanding it from the academic perspective as he is trying to present it, it's impossible. You just can't do that. Black Thought, Nas, MC Light, Scarface, Sadat X, Q-Tip, those are all people who love hip-hop? No. And these are all people who have used all of the tools of literary academia that he's talking about in all of their
do you know that? Have you looked at that?
What do you mean have I looked at it? I'm trying to approach it from the academic perspective as you are. But even to do that, to make an argument, you have to see it from the pro side and the con side. You cannot land on one person that you really, really like and say they're the best because you can apply all of those literary aspects to their work. The reality
you simply can't, though. You simply can't. I challenge you. Try it. If you try to write a book.
Black Thought is probably in my mind, the most lyrical literary genius that exists. Because all of the aspects you're talking about, the ability to rhyme 15 lines in a row, the ability to use metaphor, the ability to go back to the things that he was discussing in the beginning and wrap it all up at the end so it's a nice, tidy, bowed up package is something that he has done in a billion tracks, all many tracks. It's not new. And Lil Wayne certainly hasn't birthed anything but a bunch of, let me not even go there. I'm trying to look at this from the academic perspective. But the reality is that if you're going to look at it from an academic perspective, you have to make a comparative measure. You have to have something to compare it to. You can't just land on one cat that you feel and be like, that's the dude.
Thank you for using the words that I wanted to say, Natural.
You are my hero, dude. I love you, baby.
I appreciate that.
Love you. Thank you for having this cat on, too, because somebody needs to let him know. If you're going to do it from the academic perspective, please make a comparative measure. Nobody's saying that he ain't literary. Nobody is saying he's not lyrical and that he's not using all of the tactics that you're talking about. But that don't make him a genius. I'm sorry. He's not contributing anything. And I wish he was, because sometimes this shit is hot. I love it. It makes my booty shake. That's what it do. But at the end of the day, does it make me think? Does it make me want to contribute something to the world? I don't give a shit about bitches, money, drugs, bitches, guns. He said it himself. That's all he talks about. And at the end of the day, a literary genius has the ability to step outside of that shit and maybe talk about something that matters.
The comparison I do make, because I do know him, is Bob Dylan. And Bob Dylan's been nominated for the Nobel Prize for Literature, and based on the criteria that's been used,
yeah, but no, I think the problem is certain criteria, but
other rappers are good. But what I said is Lil Wayne's a literary genius, and
let me. I hear you. Yeah. I didn't get a chance to get your book, dude. Like honestly, I don't know. But look, here's the deal. I don't even think it's fair to compare him to Bob Dylan. Like Bob Dylan, I don't even like Bob Dylan, but at least Bob Dylan's talking about some real shit half the fucking time. He's using all of those same things, the metaphors and the puns, to talk about real shit.
Well,
that's the difference. That's what separates Bob Dylan from. I didn't hear it yet. You haven't cited
Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne does. So, for example, he does.
We gotta wrap it up though, man. Yo, we gotta wrap it up. We gotta wrap it up. Let me plug your book one more time, just so people can check it out and hear your argument, because I thought it was interesting.
Agree with it. Yeah, thanks.
I thought it was interesting. All right, so it is The Literary Genius of Lil Wayne. Kreston Kent, that's with K's on both ends, the front and the back name. The Literary Genius of Lil Wayne. Kreston, it was a pleasure chatting with you. You got the phone lines blowing up, and you have a good one. All right, bud.
Thanks.
Take care.